Alright guys, it's been a little while since I posted, so I wanted to give you a quick update on my training, but I did a very specific jump training cycle that you would have seen 2 videos from, which is my first week. I did 2 weeks after that and had all the videos prepared for it, but I had issues with the videos downloading from iCloud, and for some reason they just wouldn't download for me to use in making the videos, so was trying to make that for a couple weeks, wasn't working, so I decided to just scratch it and skip ahead to where I am now so that we are up to date. But basically, after that training cycle, I almost touched 11.6. I was like a centimeter, if that, off it, which would have been about a 2 to 3 inch PB, and I almost hit a self-bounce Eastbay, hit front of the rim for that. So yeah, I might post those 2 things as a short on YouTube, but now have some exciting news, but I have decided to jump back on THP strength with Isaiah and John. So a couple of reasons. My own coaching has gotten pretty busy, so I'm at a point now where I don't really want to be writing my own programs. 2, takes the bias out of it. I was tending to just kind of write things that I wanted to do, maybe not so much things I needed to do. And 3, I want to get from that 42-inch mark to as close to a 50-inch vertical as possible. So decided to hop back on with THP strength. And what you're seeing here is workout number 1. So the aim of this first cycle is to get my knees healthy. I had a bit of a flare-up after that really specific cycle, which I kind of figured might have happened, and it did. So you saw me doing slow quarter squats, then worked up to hip thrusts, 150 kilos for 15 reps. Then here we moved on to some seated calf raises, single leg. These are all the final sets of each for these. But yeah, so I'm super excited to be back on THP strength and not have to worry about writing my own programs anymore. And then here we moved on to hamstring curls. 4 sets of 5. So what you're seeing here is what I did yesterday. I actually started with them last week, but I kept everything quite light because my knee was worse last week. It's slowly getting better, but I would say this is kind of like my first official week of training, because I had to change a few things around last week as well, just because of my schedule. So yeah, and then we moved on to, this is the next day. I also did some upper body training with this, but I didn't film that. So I just filmed the leg stuff, which was these drops. So worked up to a set of 6 at 60-inch drop, which, yeah, this felt high, but no pain doing the drops. The only time I really get pain in my knee is doing squats. So should be an easy fix. I'll still be able to jump during the cycle as well. And yeah, I really enjoyed dropping from this height. It was quite a challenge. I felt very high up. So yeah, all in all, the cycle I did before this that I wrote for myself was very successful. I hit all time in how high I was jumping, but just literally at the end of the cycle, my knees flared up a bit, which again, I was kind of assuming that was, not assuming that was going to happen, but I knew there was a chance that would happen because I was jumping lots, doing lots of plyos, sprints, squats, Olympic lifting, all that kind of stuff. It was just a very specific training cycle. But yeah, so finishing off these drops here. Surprisingly, yeah, absolutely no pain dropping from 60 inches, which is really nice. And yeah, I realized that it's been 2 years since I'd been on THP. So I'm going to do a bit of a review video, I think, on just the results I've gotten over the last 2 years. And then what I want to achieve moving forward with Isaiah and John. So then we moved on to a circuit that they assigned. It was farmers carries or offset farmers carries, working on core. Did these 2 laps for each side, and then you'll see me in the distance doing Pallof press, so 10 reps and then a 10-second hold with one of the thick purple bands, so it was quite tough. And then you'll see me here doing the last part of the circuit, which was a hold, prone and a supine hold. So basically hold with my chest facing down, hold with my chest facing up. Chest facing down was a lot of hamstring, glutes, lower back. ISO held it for 20 seconds. And then when I flipped, It was pretty much all core. I really liked how the core felt on it. I've never actually done it that way, facing up, focusing on a full isometric on the core with this. Much preferred it over doing like a plank or anything like that. I felt like it was hitting my intra-abdominals a lot better. It just felt like a much better movement. So you can see me here setting up. And yeah, lying back, keeping the core tense, keeping it flat, tucking the rib cage, and trying to hold that for 20 seconds. You can't really see it too much here, but yeah, I was shaking. And yeah, so that was the workout. And yeah, I can't wait to see my progress over the next few years with THP.